It is never an easy pill to swallow when you realize that you have been lied to, that somebody has made you believe something that wasn't true. I'm sure a lot of the folks in my audience are familiar with the little clip from Seinfeld that I have on the screen here. Believe me when I tell you, this entire event in Los Angeles is staged. It is fake. It is a creation, in my humble opinion, of the Trump administration. Now, a lot of guys are probably like, wait a minute, hold on. That's not true. It was an organic thing that came up out of opposition to blah, 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 and all this nonsense. The ladies in my audience out there, how easy is it for you to sometimes lie to a guy when he wants to believe something is true? That's what we're facing right now. This is all fake. This is all theater. Everybody who's participating, throwing the concrete at the cop cars, burning things, these are all very likely actors. Paid, maybe, maybe not. Maybe some of them kind of believe in what they're saying, but the vast majority of them are not. And I have proof. Yeah, proof. Wait a minute, Florida Monkey. There's no way you could possibly have proof that this is the case. I can prove it right now. What do you notice about this picture that's very odd? You see a forest scenario and you've got guys all decked out in battle gear, but when you look very, very closely at this picture, none of them are armed. None of them have a weapon in their hands. I don't even see any sidearms. You see, you initially would look at this and think, wow, that's, whew, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 heavily armed, Marines or Army. They're not armed. What does that have to do with anything? In Los Angeles, the Marines and the National Guard personnel who are there, who are deployed for the protests, will not have live ammunition in their rifles, according to officials. This coming from Reuters. Their weapons will be unloaded, and they will operate under the same rules of engagement as National Guard, meaning they will not engage crowds, while they can temporarily detain individuals if necessary to protect federal property or personnel. To protect federal property or personnel, they are not authorized to make arrests. So they can't arrest anybody, and they have no useful weapons. So they have no deterrence. Maybe we should ask the Patriot Nurse out there about this. I think she could probably answer this clearer than I could. Patriot Nurse, you're getting ready for your day, and you're getting everything set, and you're there at your dresser. Maybe you're putting earrings on. You got your everyday carry right there. Has it ever occurred to you, you know what? I'm just going to pop the magazine out here, and I'm going to just drop all of the rounds right here on the dresser, and I'm going to put the empty magazine back into the weapon. I'm just going to go out with an unloaded weapon today. Sounds kind of silly, doesn't it? Who would do that? Who would do that? If Donald Trump or Pete Hegseth thought for 1 minute that there was any danger whatsoever to those Marines or to those National Guardsmen, they would not put them in harm's way. If they did, and something happened to those National Guardsmen and those Marines, they should both be strung up in the nearest tree tomorrow or the day after it would happen. If the orders were to deploy with no ammunition and no authority to make arrests, and something bad happens to one of these Marines, or something bad happens to one of these National Guardsmen, that should be the end of these two. But you see, that's the case. They know. Why? Because they're the ones who hired the actors. They're the ones that hired these fake, make-believe actors. This is Times of India, and they've got some of the greatest thumbnails here. U.S. forces clash with protesters in Los Angeles. And they're showing people getting drug away and burning cars and all this nonsense. And here's another Times of India perfect shot. Times of India had people on site ready to go to take pictures. America burns in anti-immigration riots. Isn't it amazing how fast they got all this out? Here's my question. Remember the drones that were spraying crap all over New Jersey? First of the year? Everybody's forgot about that. Why not just deploy drones? And have them spray tear gas from 100 feet up, 150 feet up. You don't have to put a single person in harm's way. You don't have to put a single person, not a policeman, not a guardsman, not a Marine. It's all spectacle. This is all a make-believe spectacle. Because we have the technology to deal with this without having one person out there. And folks, here's a map of LA. Now I know this is kind of hard to see. I'm going to kind of zoom this in here. A little bit. You see this little red dot over here? Hold on. You see this tiny little red dot over here? I'm trying to circle it. I know it's hard to see. It's right in downtown. Like over here, as he's mapping LA, is Marina Del Rey and Santa Monica. You come in just to the north and east here, and you'll see a red circle right here. That is where every single picture that you have seen online has been taken. Every burning car, every smashed cop car, every flag waver, everything has all been in this teeny tiny little bitty red circle. This is the entire city of Los Angeles. Everything you've seen has happened here. The vast majority of people in LA don't even, unless they go online, they have no idea what's going on. I know a few people out here. They're like, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. There's not smoke rising over the horizon. There's not, the vast, huge swaths of streets being blocked and all this. It's all happening in one tiny little area. One teeny tiny little area. And I'll ask you again. I'll make this a very short video. Super short video. It's fake. You see, when you want to believe something, it's easy to be fooled, isn't it? Ladies, help me out here. Guys, you need to take a breath and listen. If they want you to believe something, you'll believe it. This clip is about her telling him long after they were dating for a while, and then I guess a matter of years, and then they broke up, and this is later when they're just friends, and they're having this conversation, and she's telling him about all the times that, well, it wasn't exactly genuine between them. Folks, I'm telling you right now, you can look this up for yourself. Look this up for yourself. None of the Marines, none of the National Guardsmen are going to have any ammo. What's the point? Patriot Nurse, what's the point? All of your handgun training, all of your rifle training, everything you've ever done, everything you've ever experienced to be ready for when that moment happens? No ammo? You going to intimidate somebody just by pointing something at them? That's the case. See, they know. They know. Excuse my voice. They know that these protesters are no threat. How do they know they're no threat? Because they're the ones who paid them. They're the ones who hired them. Because they wanted something like this in the run-up to the celebration on the 14th to turn the page from the argument between Musk and Trump, to distract from the fact that they're emptying out our embassies in the Middle East right now. God knows what's coming. It's distraction. There is no way they would deploy troops that they thought were in even the most microscopic chance that they could be in harm's way. Unarmed. And they are unarmed. They have no ammunition. All these pictures you're seeing all came out of that teeny tiny itty bitty little circle. And like I said, why not just send out 10 or 12 drones? Send out 10 or 12 drones if these people get out of... If this was a real, genuine protest, just send up the drones. Spray the crap out of them. Not one person, not one cop car would have been wrecked. Not one cop would have had anything thrown at them. And you can send up these things with water, too. They have drones that can spray water to put out the fires. It's not a hard thing to do. It's all fake, though. It's all make-believe. Look it up. Everything that you have seen in the last 5 to 7 days about this, one place. It's not happening in Chicago, is it? We don't see it happening in Portland, do we? We don't see it happening up in, was it Chaz up in Minneapolis? So nothing in Chicago, nothing in Minneapolis, nothing in Portland. Anything in Philly? Nope. Sure as hell nothing in Florida. I guarantee you that. Where are all these spontaneous protests coming from? They aren't. There are no spontaneous protests. There's the threat of them. There's been a map that has been put out. A map that should, with a bunch of little dots on it, and say, oh, planned protests for all these places, all over the... Maybe. Sounds like a psyop to me. Sounds like exactly like something the U.S. military would cook up and disseminate. That type of information to get people looking at one thing and not another. So, fake. Guys hate to hear it, but it's the truth. So, ladies, help me out. When a guy wants to believe something, or even people in general, I guess you could say, when they want to believe something and then you give them any kind of indication that that belief might be true, they will fall hook, line, and sinker for it. Answer my question. Last thing I'll leave with. Is it right that the Marines and the National Guard don't have one live round? Then they have no ability to arrest anybody? And they can only temporarily detain individuals only in the defense of federal property or personnel? If this were real, that would not be the case. And I think the Patriot Nurse would agree with me. Just saying, in case you're questioning where I'm coming from on this. I don't think she leaves the house with an everyday carry that doesn't have any rounds in it. So, I will leave it there. Excuse me. God bless. Pray for each other. Pray for me, I'll pray for you. Lift each other up. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.